Hi, Portia.
Push the left again.
Hi, ladies.
Portia?
Oh, I am on.
Portia? Portia? Portia?
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
But where are the other two?
Hold on, maybe I should put on my earphones.
I think so. I think I should do.
Girl, so the first thing you need to do is you need to moisturize.
Oh, I hear you guys more clear on here.
Really?
Oh, there you go.
I can see you.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you,
I put
sis.
my earphones into
I
the
can't hear
laptop so I
Debbie
can hear
and
everyone.
me.
Well, hi everything.
And there you have it.
Why are you laughing?
How's you?
Why are you laughing? You
Yeah.
can't laugh.
All right, you sound muffled.
Oh, I can't believe I'm going live with my laughing.
All
Oh,
right,
you people are
I think something's blocking your microphone.
Yeah. Where's Ruby?
Just can you see me?
Huh?
Sissy,
Yeah.
can you see me?
We
Yeah.
can
Well,
see
just the
you, but we can
top.
barely hear you.
Oh. Am I
Okay.
giving like coming to America live?
Where's Ruby?
I'm trying to find my earphone now.
You can only have 4 people on the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, and then plus Ruby. So it should be like 5.
Oh,
Ruby.
I can't hear anyone.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. No, because I was trying to listen to my laptop's audio, but it's lagging from the conversation. So I think I need to
I
listen to my
can't hear
phone.
you
hey guys. So we're gonna start with if you see in the bottom left corner, you'll see like little prompts there. So I guess we can introduce ourselves. Like you can say who you are, and then your proper pronouns, your pronouns, and your zodiac sign. How about you start for us, Crystal?
Right now.
Uh huh.
Um. No, for real right now.
Yeah.
Where we're going. Okay. Hi. I'm Crystal. My pronouns are she. She her. I'm a Capricorn.
Can you hear me?
Oh, shit. Is it my turn?
Sure. Make you a popcorn. Anyone?
So how are we?
Um, I can go. I'm Tepa. Everybody calls me Tepa. Close friends call me Deb, Debbie, any of those, but mostly Tepa. My pronouns are she, her.
You're like
Um,
a
I'm
stepchild. I
looking
can't even hear
to
anyone.
like someone, titles like Suma. And my zodiac sign
Yes, I
is
can hear you.
I'm a Libra. And now I'm gonna pass on to Miss Mia.
Where they are though? Mia, can you hear us?
Can you hear me, Mia?
Can you hear us?
I think Mia's still working.
Hi
Um,
guys, I'm Mia.
okay.
I am a Scorpio. I'm 32 years old. Well, I'll be 32 in November. And now I can.
Sorry, Aaron.
Wait,
Um, all right. Who's next?
I don't know if you can hear me.
I think it's you, Ara.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
What is the question?
So, who are you? Like, what is your name, your pronouns, and your zodiac sign?
Um, my name is Arlene. I'm a Scorpio, and you must never ask a lady for her age. um, I'm in my 30s.
All right.
This is so confusing.
Well, hello to you all.
Hello.
Are you okay, Crystal?
So are you
Yeah, I'm
just listening
fine.
to audio
Okay.
on the phone or on the
So the first question is, when did you decide to become visible? Ruby, this question is hard.
Oh, she can't hear me.
Anybody want to take a shot at that? When did you first decide to become visible?
all of this is making me hot. I'm over here sweating because it's stressing me out.
What was the question, Tepa?
When did you decide to become visible?
Ruby, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
The question is, when did you decide to be visible? What is one piece of practical advice you would give to someone starting out?
Ah,
Wait, is that all one question or is that
I guess that can be one question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ruby and these question games.
Okay. Hmm. I decided to become visible after I graduated, and I dropped out of college because that was a promise I made to my mom. She told me to graduate and when I turn 18, do whatever I want. And when I turned 18, I dropped out of college. I moved to Hawaii and I transitioned. If I could give one advice to um, anyone who's just starting, is to always honor your parents and to live authentically and just always do things for the experience because that's how you learn. That was a
That's
lot.
great advice.
We can just jump in, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Please jump, Crystal.
Oh, sorry, because I'm just like looking at like I think. Oh, sorry. Um, Hi. Um, when did I become visible? It was right after high school too, as well. Is when I moved over to Oregon, and from Oregon to Seattle. That's when I finally realized my true self, and I decided to do everything that I needed to be done. Sorry, guys. I feel like I'm speaking to myself because I'm just like talking to like a wall.
It's okay. It should feel
But
like that. Right?
okay,
I can hear you, Seth.
okay,
I can hear
Like,
you,
just
Paula.
just be comfortable and just talk.
yeah.
Just do the normal and talk to yourself now. Just be
Good.
What is
normal.
this?
Just make playhouse, yeah.
Oh, normal. And then that's when I transitioned. It was right after high school when I came up to Seattle. If I had one advice that I would give um the younger generation, what would be my advice? Just to be yourself, love yourself, especially your family, especially, and always accept yourself for who you are. Okay, next question. This is weird.
No, sis, there's nothing weird about it. You're doing wonderful.
Okay, no, because you know like how we're supposed to unlock, but I'm only looking like are you guys and then like the whole black screen. Okay, that's fine.
I think you're up, Ara.
Or is it me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, it's Deb's you're up. Oh,
Sorry, Ara.
I'm sorry. Tepa, I thought you were supposed to go.
I can go.
Yeah, please.
I think like many of you, like most of you, I started being more visible as a trans woman. Um, as a faafafine when I left high school. When I moved to Hawaii and I attended college there. I think just being away from home, being away from my family, just allowed me to feel more
The
freedom
girls are having a ball,
to
stupid.
pursue like to pursue like what I want to be. And so yeah, my transition has been slow from there. But if I could give any advice to someone starting out right now, I think I would say, as cliche as this sounds, I would like to say that you are not alone. And especially in a time where there's more visibility of like trans women represented um, on so many different platforms. We see a lot of trans women on TV nowadays. We didn't see a lot of that growing up, and so it was hard to relate to anyone.
Awesome. Well, I guess it's my turn now.
I guess.
Well, I think if we're talking about like visibility in terms of like coming out, is that what it is? Like, is that the gist of the question?
I guess just being visible in terms of like who you truly identify as and be open and expressing
I think
yourself
so.
in that way.
Okay. So I think like for me personally, there was not really a specific time where I told myself like, okay, we are going to be visible. Like I feel like my process was always like from a very young age. Like if you looked at me, there was no like there was no mystery about how I would end up. You know what I mean? Like this is it. But um in terms of matching how I felt with the way I looked and becoming the woman that was in my head, I feel like I slowly started that after a little after high school, about a few years ago. So like that's when I truly felt visible. Like people were seeing me as the faafafine that I am. And the piece what's the second half of the question?
What is one piece of advice you would give to someone starting out?
I think one of the piece one of the biggest advice that I could give people, I mean, in terms of coming up is like Mia said, one is to honor your parents and trust your process. Sometimes we try to force our way through when parents are telling you not to do this and not to do that, but I think it's very wise to take your time and honor them because you're only with them for a short amount of time, and after that, it's your world. But I feel I feel a great deal comes from getting your parents' blessings in life, and through your obedience, you'll be able to just be whoever you want to be. Thank you so much for the question, contestant number 4.
And that was Ara, contestant number 1.
Oh, Ruby and these things, these games.
Okay, she's playing.
I thought that was nice. Good advice that everyone's given people that are asking. Oh, am I breaking up, Ruby?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, thanks for telling me, sisters.
I
It's
could
the
hear you.
lava.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just Ruby because she has the mic Bluetooth.
Oh my gosh! The thing on the
It's so.
side.
It's so.
The
Yeah. It's so.
I, I
It's so.
finally I finally clicked on the chat thing. I was like, what the hell are these? Who are these guys talking to? And I'm looking like, ooh, come to Jerusalem says. That's, I finally realized that the chat thing is on the side. What the hell? That Ruby was talking to us through there.
Oh, sis, good thing you're pretty.
Oh,
I love you because you're beautiful, sis. With a
eh,
beautiful heart. How's that?
Uma.
Eh. Kidding, sister. Yeah, because this is kind of like a weird app, but making it work through
Brew and these apps.
Rube and these app games.
You're gonna.
Moderator Debbie, what's going on there? Why are we
Oh, I'm
quiet?
not moderating.
Oh,
I was just repeating. I Do you all see the question?
I can't see nothing.
I can't see anything.
I'm solely
Oh,
relying on the power of.
so a question from Francis Tupuola. Name a time when the world was truly unkind to you.
Can you say that one more time, Debbie? You're breaking up.
What person?
Francis Tupola wants to know a time in your life when you felt like the world was truly unkind to you.
Hi, Frances.
Oh. Oh,
I
that
don't know. That's
question.
hard for me.
How did you handle it?
Debbie, please get some scissors. Cut it up loud.
Okay. How many times when the world was unkind to me?
Yeah, a time in your life when the world was unkind to you, and how did you handle it?
Um,
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
I was gonna say, oh, in high school. I just remember, like, oh, that wasn't a good way to handle
You know, I can't hear
it.
anything.
I guess Mia's up.
Baby, I can't hear anything. Okay, a time when the world was truly unkind to me. Um, I would say, mm, I don't know. I can't really think of it because I don't really focus on like those kind of situations. I mean, they happen and I just like let it go. I mean, it's just not something that I like to like dwell on or keep in my life because I'm such a happy person and I rather be a happy person than someone who just like gets stuck on the hurt and pain and stuff. So I'm sorry if I can't answer that question.
I like that, Mia. I love how
Yeah.
I love how optimistic you are. I love that light. But in 1992, Limay.
Um, what's one of the proudest moments you've had living as an adult?
Proudest moments I've had.
What is the most proudest moment? Living as an adult?
Living as an adult. Um,
Living as an adult.
yeah, what's one of the proudest moments that you've had?
One of the proudest moments in my life as an adult is the simple fact of being able to give back to my family. Um, I've especially my parents. They don't ask for it, but I'm so I'm so happy that I'm able um, and capable of assisting them with things that they need. I'm forever indebted to them, and I'll never be able to pay back whatever they have given me. But the little that I can do, I'm grateful for that. I'm so proud of them. I'm proud of those moments, and yeah, I guess it shows also like the growth I've had as a teen into my adulthood or into my womanhood and seeing
Ruby,
it
I
grow.
can't hear anything. So like, if if it's my turn, then like just type it so I can read it.
Wait, I'm
What's
sorry.
one of the What's the most proudest moments you had living as an adult? What's the most proudest moment? Proudest moments you had living as an adult?
I can't hear anyone.
I know. I'm
Yeah,
just.
I feel like somebody's fan or something is on.
I don't have a fan, so Crystal, that should
Hi,
be you.
Tessa.
The what?
Do you have a fan that's on?
No, just the AC's on.
Ah, then that's what it is.
Why should I turn it off?
No, girl, and sweat your makeup off? No.
Oh, that sounds better. Oh, now it's back.
Also, turn off.
It's the.
I can't hear. I'm just being honest. I don't
It's
know
still
if you can
smart.
hear my pageant answers, but yeah, I can't hear.
I heard parts of it.
Oh my gosh, it was an Academy Award winning speech.
Oh, clearly I missed it.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Me, me, me.
My Lola wants to know if you were to live anywhere, where would it be?
Why can't you answer my Lola?
Huh?
Kango e kanya kuskego by Noah.
But they want to hear from you,
Eh,
from all of
who?
you.
Okay.
Hey, Constance. If I were to live anywhere, where would it be? Honestly, I would live in Samoa.
Oh,
Oh.
I had no idea you're Samoan.
I know. I
Debbie.
love to live in Samoa.
Yeah,
I
can I
love
hear?
the laid back life. Um, I miss it. And just to be around my family and be amongst a culture that really truly um, resonates with who I am as a whole person.
Oh.
That was a beautiful answer, and I think Tepa expresses all of our views. Thank you so
Okay.
much, contestant number two.
Debbie.
Mia,
I guess I think it's Christmas Mike.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what Ruby's saying.
It's still mine. Uh, what
Yeah.
should I do? What should I do with it? Ouch.
how do you?
Um,
It's just my.
It's still mine.
any role models growing up, ladies? Did y'all hear me?
Okay.
Um, are we still on?
It said if I'm on no AC just for like 5 minutes.
How is it now?
It's annoying AF.
Ruby?
The house.
Not at all.
Okay, better. Okay. I can't hear the other girls.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, Mia. I
I
can
can
hear
hear
you,
you.
Crystal.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's bad enough I only can hear from one.
Shut. Oh my god. I can't hear anybody.
I saw on the
Can you
thing
hear me?
saying role models. Did you guys say your role models?
What do you mean role models?
Um, I don't
Maybe
know.
we'll.
I guess Ruby typed role models on the screen. So
Mm.
I'm asking if you guys spoke on that. Look at the thread.
Oh, yes, role models.
My role models were my mom, her, all her siblings pretty much. My dad's siblings too, and JLo. Mainly because to me, JLo represents the same thing my mom represents: beauty, compassion, hard work, dedication, and like a nurturing spirit.
Oh.
Aw.
Goodness to see. And same as me. My mom is my role model.
Ruby's getting back, guys. She wants us to know that we
I
can,
really,
we can, we're all heard. But Viola says she couldn't hear me.
I know I can't hear anybody that well.
Oh my gosh.
Can you hear me, sis?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I don't hear Debbie and
Can you
Aura.
hear me?
They're doing their mug.
Uh-uh.
No,
Girl, girls.
I can hear you all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did you
Portia,
have a
Ruby's getting mad
did
at
you have
you.
a cutie pie partner in
Why?
crime growing
Because they're
up?
fine.
Did you have a QTPI partner in crime growing up? I had two, Holly and Jaya. They always got me into a lot of trouble, and I nearly failed because I couldn't speak or understand someone. So I was already struggling in school. Bad enough, they were taking me McDonald's every lunch, skipping classes, everything. But you live and you learn, and it's for the experience.
Do we? What is the question, sis? Sorry, I don't see it
Um,
The
actually.
question is if you ever had a QTPI partner in crime growing up.
Yeah, I did. That was
Whoever
actually
Aura, Trina.
Trina, Jada.
Honey, the
That's
girls.
girl, the girls. That's all I needed, girl.
That was the OG girls, honey, that pretty much paved the way for me and the girls around my age. I mean, we're all same age, but
Like we're all in the same.
same category, honey.
It's still you're my.
to be honest, I didn't really have any.
Eh.
No, I'm serious.
Ruby? Is that the. Wait, Tepa?
Wait, I'm sorry, girls, that I live such a fish life.
Oh yeah, I remember Debbie. She always has those
Well, no.
the twin
Well,
girls.
let me just say, growing up, I was always around this girls. She swore she was one of them. Um, and I think part of it too was I didn't have a lot of like trans or faafafine around my age, close to where I lived, where like a lot of villages had like so many faafafine together. They all hang around together in their families. And the only two faafafine I knew growing up were much older than I was, and those were Cato and Marlo. Um, and then from time to time, Jada Leatawa would move to Aloha, and that's when I would get to hang out with Jada. So I think Jada is the closest I would come to that, to having a crime in, partner in crime.
Mm. Have you? What's some more questions?
How were you able to deal with your body image growing up? Oh, not this question.
I love my body.
How did I deal with it? I've always loved it.
Okay, I of course I love my body, says.
When I was little, well, when Ruby and I were little, we used to play dress up in my room. And we used to grab like all of our lava lavas and like tie it around our bodies to like make a dress. And like we would compliment each other. I was always JLo and she was always Beyonce.
Oh, oh, oh.
Girl, both or bad. And we're complimenting each other. Oh my God, you have booty bag. You have hips bag. And as soon as we could hear my dad's truck coming up the hill, it was like, okay, so take it off of me.
Hey, let's go hide.
No, because as soon as my dad would come home, it was like, Maya. Oh, okay, time to be a slave.
So to be
Oh.
honest, how did I deal with my body image growing up? Aside from like knowing that I didn't have breasts, I was blind to the rest. Like I would throw on like tight short shorts or like tight jeans, thinking that I had all the right curves to fill it out. And like, like, like I was so blind to all of that. So like, it wasn't really an issue until other like faafafine would point it out, right? Like they would be like, "Oh my god, you have such broad shoulders." Like, "Oh my god, you have no hips." You're like an iron board, like things. And then I started realizing, I was like, "Oh my god, they're right."
I
I see
But
it
before
now.
that, no one could tell me anything. I was wearing short jeans, like tight jeans, like I had all the right parts to fill it out.
oh. I, I
Fun.
I I think like with my body part when I was younger, I
Mhm.
always you know my dad, yeah, okay. I got it one story. So when I was younger, so my dad used to bring all his military friends, yeah. So his military friend has girlfriends, and every time they bring their girlfriends over, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go up and have big boobs, and I'll be sitting in my house like this, watching them outside having a barbecue. I go, that's all I'm missing, just some boobs. But other than
Chiquita.
okay, but other than that, I was fine. Those socks, I'm bad.
Okay.
They were
But
doing all of them.
I've had a long journey with like my relationship with my body.
Hmm.
Um, you know, even when I started transitioning and when people would start complimenting how I was slowly changing, I was still very insecure with my own self that I saw all my flaws like through a magnifying glass. Like they were just so much worse than everybody saw. And so like I had like such a tough relationship with like especially being like a broad shoulder girl, like I just always tell myself like there is no surgery to fix that. And so like for a long time, like and like some of my friends through college, um, um, you know, have witnessed this. You know, they would always tell me like, "Wear this. You look better in this." And I was like, "No, because I don't want to show how wide my shoulders are." Like things like that. But I've come a long way with my own body. Like a couple of years ago, I started embracing my flaws because they made me different. And like on my journey to like accepting that, like I started doing like bigger competition, and I started training, and I developed a more athletic but feminine build. And I think with that, like when I saw people admiring that and still respecting me as a woman, like really also helped me become more comfortable and own my shoulders and to truly validate that, like, you know, women, trans women, and we come in different shapes and different, you know, builds and different sizes.
I remember when you were doing the fitness thing, girl, your body was fucking lean and cut. I was like, I don't know how she can do that. Like, I can't even get skinny to save my life.
Hello?
Hi,
How
Ara.
was
Hi.
ours?
Hmm. Sorry, I think I lost you guys for a minute there.
Yeah, it's your turn now.
For what?
The question.
Um,
Yeah, you go, Debbie.
so the question was like, how did you deal with your body image growing up?
Say that one more time.
How did you deal with your body image growing up?
My body image growing up. What does that mean?
You know, what was your relationship like with
I think she means body, um, like with gender dysphoria
I
and
get it.
like, you know.
Well, when I was younger, I really didn't think much of it. Especially being around the environment I grew up around in Samoa. Everyone was just, accepted for who they are. If you were passing it, you're passing it. But it wasn't until I moved um, to the States and realized that, Westernization also has a different concept of what it is to be a woman and what everything that's entailed with that. And so, of course, insecurity would come in sometimes because I didn't fit the mold. Um, and but I've learned the journey that I've had with, I guess you could say my body journey. It's been a good one. I've learned to embrace it. I've become my own woman through it. If that makes sense.
Are you getting muffly?
Oh,
I can't even hear Ara.
I'm so sorry. Debbie, can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's the same thing. Like you'll start out clear and then it starts sounding really muffled.
Hello?
You're clear now.
Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll just break it down in a nutshell. I have learned to embrace, now in my older years, the woman that I've become, and the I guess my body because before, no shade, I used to like always try to find myself trying to fit the westernized mold of what it is to be a woman. Am I still breaking up?
No, you're fine.
Okay. But now that I'm, wiser and older, I'm beginning to not beginning. I've learned to embrace it, and I guess I love the curves and how thick I am, and it's just I don't know. I just love it. It just makes me womanly. Does that make sense?
I can't hear
Yeah.
Ara.
You can't hear me,
I am
Crystal?
right there with you, Ara. Like being at school and stuff, I gained so much weight that I was like a little insecure about it. But then I'm slowly but surely growing into my own skin and be like, girl,
Mm.
this is you now. This is your 30, girl. So get used to it.
But you see, you look over either way. Like,
Thank you.
of course.
I
Crystal,
guess
can
it's
you hear me?
I guess it's like the realization that like I'm getting older and my body isn't as it used to be and I can't drop the weight as fast as I used to, but
Mm.
it's okay. Because when I lived, I lived.
Right.
Exactly.
You guys are sound.
Crystal, that AC though.
So what is your advice for people transitioning later on in life?
Like late bloomers.
Yeah.
I hope that's not an offensive term. Um, but
Just people who, for whatever reason and whatever cultural barriers that they've endured, did not decide to transition earlier on.
I made a really good friend at Las Vegas Lounge. She kind of made me understand that a situation like that because I'll be honest, I was very like blunt about things like or very obnoxious um I guess because I looked at my life as it was so hard. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And like I never really took the consideration that times are different then. And like that's what her name is Jennifer. She kind of like broke it down for me and made me like understand her. And like she was always so kind and so sweet. But I haven't gone to the lounge, so I haven't seen her in a long time. um but yeah, for late bloomers, live it up. You already should have like your 401k, go and get your body, live it all the way up, and just be happy. Too long.
I'm so sorry. What is the
Hey,
question?
you're fine.
The
What is
question.
your advice for those who decide to transition later on in life?
Don't do it, sis.
What?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Um,
Yeah.
Oh,
let me know.
I think I guess the best advice I could give someone. Can you hear me? Are you
I
good?
hear
Sis,
you.
Okay. I think the best advice I could give someone
sis, I
is,
can't hear Aura.
I can hear Ara.
Crystal, do you have an
Neither
issue?
do Tepa and Ria.
Hi, Crystal. I didn't realize you
You're
felt that
fine,
way.
Crystal.
Ruby said we're all fine.
Uh, oh. Oh.
Shall I go out and come back in,
Oh, okay.
Crystal?
Okay.
No.
No. I think I guess time is of the essence. Life is too short. Do you get it done and live it up? I don't know what else to tell you. You missed the first train. Get on the second one. And I don't say that like I'm being mean or not. I'm just I empathize with them, and I realize that circumstances, different circumstances, have caused the that delay. And I'm just glad that you've reached a point in your life where you said enough is enough, and I want to become the true woman that I'm destined to be. So get on with it. Do it. No more questions. Do it, love.
Yeah, I think the only thing about like girls who transition a little later is that if you've lived a whole life like you know one way, like say if you were considered a straight male, like I hope you didn't mislead a whole family into believing
Yeah.
that this was you, and then all of a sudden you just change up on them. If that's the case for anyone, I hope they take the time to like at least let their loved ones know who they are,
Yeah. I agree.
like at least like go about things the right way, and then they can like
Because I think
truly,
that's a whole nother transition in itself.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I say, like Ara said, do you boo. There is no timeline on transitioning, and no one has to say on when you should or should not transition. It's whenever you're ready.
Yeah,
And
whenever everybody's ready.
yeah, you are the master of your own fate. You decide what is right for you, and that journey is self-determined. So yeah, do you do?
Okay.
May ani mga asking o rupi ka cure may mo ka make up mo may kalabuan mo.
Ruby
Ayan mo
wants us
Christian.
to Ruby wants us to move on to the Fasamo question. Um, being visible in the Fasamo are stereotypes that have affected your visibility as a Samoan, faafafine, or trans woman. Uh huh. Um, what roles do we play in our culture? Hello.
Can you repeat that question for me, please?
Ruby said, "What roles do we play as transgenders in our culture, like our community?" And to be honest, I don't know because I never participated in anything culturally because like I was always looked at like, bitch, sit down, you look stupid, or like I was embarrassing my dad. So it's like, you stay home.
Hmm. What roles do we play? I think faafafine play multiple roles in Samoan society. And I think everybody see those have been able to witness a lot of the skills and the multiple responsibilities that the Filipino community have held throughout years and decades. Um, I think, traditionally, Filipino were always known to be teachers, teachers of like cultural customs, culture, and like traditions, our music, our songs, our sivas, and even our craft. I think one expectation that the culture has that really affects you the most is there seems to be like a limitation that's often placed on Filipino simply because you're from Filipino. And I know a lot of people do not always speak up about this, but just the expectation that because you're Filipino, you'll always be alone and you will never have a family of your own. Um, and that your calling is to take care of everyone else. I admire the fact that we are seen as caretakers and keepers of the heart of the family. But at the same time, I do believe that we can do that and so much more. That's just me. Anybody wants to add on?
I'm so sorry, I stepped out. What is the question?
Being visible in Fasamo, what roles do you believe we play in culture and how does it affect you?
Being visible. What roles do we play? How it also affects us. Estelle.
Oh, Lima's watching.
Who?
Hi, Lima.
I can't see anyone viewing, but aloha talapalama. I think, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
I think, when approaching like questions like this, I think we think about, the two types of faafafine that exist now. There's the traditional faafafine, and also, I guess the modern girl. So I guess we can say it's safe to say that we all possess both parts of those two types. So I feel like from a traditional point of view, the roles would always be, the caretakers and the people that, like Debbie had pointed out, that are keepers of, our genealogy and our music and traditional dances and stuff like that. On the flip side of that, I feel that the Fafafine community have worked so hard throughout the years, about what, 30 to 40 years, in trying to um, inform Samoan society that we're not just good for caretaking. We're not just good for being, we're not only good at cooking and all that stuff, but we're also needed in different places in society. Hence the reason why Fafafine have taken uh, such a strong route in education. And so I feel in this day and age, Fafafines have proven to be um, jacks of many trades. And there's no specific role that I can think of or place them in. All I know is they're very, very talented and very intelligent people. And they're masters at what they do. And so I think there's a special there's a special gene of creativity that um, our creator had placed in the Fafafine community and people, because we craft and we conjure like no other. I say that so confidently. There's not a task that you could give a faafafine to do that he or she wouldn't do to the best of their ability or excel in. So I feel that I can't really specify what roles that faafafines play, what specific roles, but I know that you know they're a very pivotal part of Samoan society and Samoan culture altogether.
Hmm.
If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think like we continue to see that being proven, especially recently, like nowadays we see Fafa Fina taking on all types of roles in community. Like we have
Mm.
Fafa Fina that are principals of high schools and like elementary schools. Um, we even have Fafa Fina that have started taking on the challenge of running for representative. Um, for the phono.
Oh yeah, shout out to Angalele. Like that's
Yeah, we have Papafina that are Matai title holders.
and can I just add on to that? Like I know I said I couldn't specify really, but I guess we've worked so hard throughout the years to just inform people, the cis community that Fafafine are capable to be leaders. We're able to be leaders, and that's exactly what Fafafines are. They're strong leaders, and yeah. I guess I have to say that I'm proud to be a part of a community that you know
Oh,
where people Leakipi are just such brilliant minds. Next question, Ruby na umamig out.
No, Ara, I really I agree with you when you said that you're so proud to be Polynesian and Papapina and stuff. Um, like when I look at it, because I've had so many different friends from all over, and like they'll tell me like their situations and what they've gone through, and like I would always tell them, the best thing about Samoa is that like it's within our culture to love and respect each other. Like that's written in everyone. So like being passable isn't even a thing. Like if like we love and respect each other, if that's what you want, then we give it. Like it's you're born. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It does nothing to us to respect you. You know what I mean? Like if we disrespect you, then that's bad on us. I don't know. I'm thinking too much right now.
no, you
no,
saw
you're
me
not.
right on the the spot. Is that a good expression?
I did have a question about like our culture and where we stand and stuff. As far as like marriage, because I was always curious about that. Like, is it frowned upon?
Well, Debbie, would you like to answer that question?
Um, be right back. Commercial break. Sorry, Mia. What was your question again?
um, like, say for me, if I were to, like, say meet someone that I want to get married to, and I'm like, I want to get married back home. Um, like, would that be a crazy thing?
Um, because you're asking me, I'm gonna say no. It's not a crazy thing. Because I understand. I completely understand where you're coming from and how you know, we have our own needs. Um, I feel like marriage for us is a topic that's rarely ever discussed in our culture and with our people. And that's because a lot of our people have rested comfortably on the idea that it's irrelevant, basically. Like, I feel like a lot of our people just feel like it's not an issue because no one's really pushing for it. But
Mm,
also forgetting that there's a whole generation of faafafine who are silent about their own needs. Um, and we continue to live out our lives according to other people's expectations and standards, and not to the full extent of our own happiness.
mm,
So if I am going to be honest, and I should be honest about this, this is who I am. Like, right, it affects me in my life. I culture or no culture, I believe that they have just as much right to marry who they love.
mm. Yes, the last thing I would want is to get my beautiful white Tepa dress dirty. Because somebody is going to throw a rock at me when I'm walking out.
Like even our own people have changed, right? Like you'll see some changes. Like you'll see there are same sex couples in Samoa. There are Fafafine in Samoa who have married and lived with their significant others, their partners, their husbands for years, and are fully accepted by their families.
Mm,
Um, but that's just a battle that we're always going to have because someone somehow is always going to have a problem with it, right?
yeah.
Okay.
But that's
And
pretty much
sometimes those
everywhere.
problems are like not necessarily external, like from the cis community, but it's also internal. Like I think this is one of the conversations that we have to have, as a collective, as Wafafine people,
Mhm.
because I know that a lot of us aren't on the same page, and it's a very touchy subject for
Yeah,
us to be talking about because you have the other. This is what I mean by the traditional and the modern. Yeah, you have the modern and the millennials that say, "Oh, love is love," and then you have the traditional girls that say, "No, we must respect." So
yeah,
Yeah.
um, and it's also a question, and it also brings up questions of being fully accepted versus being tolerated, which is why I feel like in my heart that we might not be 100% accepted, but I will say that someone respect for each other, like the human respect we have for one another, is so strong that we're able to
Mm.
exist amongst our own. Does that make sense?
yeah, it
Mhm.
makes sense.
Um,
That's why I wanted to ask you girls because I'm comfortable having conversations with you guys.
mhm.
Um, if I were to walk a random place around other someone, they'll look at me like, "Who brought this key in the room? Who's this?" So like, this is kind of like a safe haven for me to like, be free as far as like asking questions that I'm curious about. Because
Oh,
to be honest, like I've never really had like anyone in my life to like help me understand it all. Like,
mm,
because I was always like trying to be an adult and grow up really fast because like the life I've lived, it was always just me.
I
Um,
bet.
and it wasn't like, family wasn't there to lean on. So it was just like, okay, girl, if you don't make it, you don't make it.
Mm,
So it was like I never really had like the free time to like date anyone or like um learn about our culture and stuff. But I was always proud to be part of it, you know.
oh yeah, of course. And you have every right to be proud. I think that so many times we give this, misconception to people off island or westernized communities that, oh, we have it all together, our community and our society back home really accepts us, when really we do go through our own struggles, like in trying to um, navigate ways to live comfortably as our authentic selves back home. But our struggles aren't as severe as a lot of the other countries that are out there. I think it's more
Yeah.
so like just Um, I don't know if things like what you asked would happen in our lifetime. I would love for it to, but I think it's going to have a long it's going to be a long period of time before we see that happening. Does Hope I answered your question.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, that's super long.
Someone's mic is
Because someone is watching the live while watching us.
the next question is specifically for Crystal.
Mm.
Wait,
Um, sorry,
Crystal, the question for you tonight is: how do you navigate life as a faafafine off island, and also being a caretaker for your adorable parents? Again, can you hear me, Crystal?
yeah, I can hear you. Sorry.
Again, the question for you tonight, Crystal, is how do you navigate life as a faafafine living off island, but also being a caretaker for your parents?
Um, that question it really kind of hits home for me. A lot has changed in my life. From being by myself in Seattle, moving to Vegas, and then to Hawaii, and then being able to take care of my parents. My parents just barely came back. I just finally lived back with my parents. About let's say 4 years ago. They just moved to Hawaii. Due to my mom and having me to care for her.
Mm,
Um, how do I navigate my lifestyle stuff? I actually really balance it out. It's actually a really overwhelming experience. At
mm,
first, it was kind of hard for me. I was a bit selfish. I'm just gonna be completely brutally honest. I was a little selfish because I always told myself, "Are you serious? Like like we're all grown up now. Like I'm trying to do my thing, and then my parents get sick, and then is this what we're supposed to do? To stop everything and go take care of our parents?"
mm,
But for me, that's my only parents, and I'm their only kid. Like I'm the only child with them. And I love my mom with all my heart and stuff like that. And how I balance my life as time went by, I was able to balance my life. Um, I was able to. There's a time and place for everything, and just working my way around it. But at the beginning, I was like in my party stages. Like it really wasn't helping. It was just making things worse.
mm,
But right now, living off island as a Fafafine and balancing my mom, right now at this very point, it's very easy because I have a schedule for them. I have the things that needs to be done in Samoa. That's scheduled out too as well. So it's very simple for me because my mom is strong. Even my dad, they're doing great. So I have no complaints at the moment. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. Sorry, that sounded stupid. I have no complaints. I just thank God, like, just for being with me throughout the whole way. Cause guys, it's a very, very hard thing to do. It's not easy. It's easy for people to be like, "Oh, go take care of your parents." You need to. It's easy for people to say that if you have siblings and stuff, but it's a different story if you're living with them.
Hmm.
And
mm.
I
I
know
get
that
it.
for a fact. But other than that, guys, we're doing good.
So I
And
think it's safe to say that you've really the way you've navigated life is just making your mom and your dad the center of your world. Like they're just
yeah,
completely
and
what you're focused on.
they actually really did because before I was about myself. Like I always like to do stuff for myself. I was focused on my stuff and a lot of things. But as time went by, I think it's just the way God worked with my life. Um,
Mm,
everything just fell into place. Like I thought it was hard. I thought it was going to be a very difficult thing for me, but
mm,
everything just fell into place for me. I mean,
mm,
like what they say, God has a plan for everybody, and I think this is God's plan for me. I know, this is God's plan for me, and my parents are my world, and I'm able to travel, do stuff, and still be with my parents. I'm not gonna be. You can't drain yourself, so you would really have to have that balance in your life with them.
mm,
So, like, I see my other Papa Phoenix sisters that I know. that they're there 24/7, and it just kind of wrecks them. Yeah, sometimes you gotta give yourself a break. You know when to take a break. You know when to do stuff. So you just gotta be strong and keep going, girl. You only
I
have one
love that.
chance,
It's
so don't
true.
lose it, girl.
Right on.
God bless you, Crystal.
No, but I think it's such a beautiful thing, like having to like be able to take care of your parents, like returning all the love that they gave you growing up and stuff. I mean, for me, I would do it, but I don't think my dad and I can have that conversation right now. Um, but yeah, my mom knows I'm her girl.
You know, my advice for you guys, like for you guys that are still on you guys myself and stuff like that. It's enjoy, keep enjoying yourself. Do everything that you need to do, because you know when the time is right to go back to your parents. And that's the thing is like you'll definitely know. Like you'll be out there, oh, do all your thing now because mom and them are still doing good. Because nakalakalo came me find it that your parents really really need you guys. You'll be done doing everything else that you need to do. And I feel like that's the way my life went. Like I did everything I wanted to do, and I just kind of dip with my parents, and I'm still balancing it out, kind of stuff. It's not as bug wild, but it's there.
Mm,
I just want to comment that Crystal. I think that that's so beautiful. I think that growth is something that we need to applaud because there has been like a great deal of growth that you've accomplished while going through this process. So kudos to you, sis. You're
Thank
over.
you.
that's my girl.
Girl.
How are you able to live in Samoa while openly being in a relationship? Pros and cons. Who was openly in a relationship in Samoa?
Gosh, how did that leak here? Yeah.
Is this Mars mic?
I've
Who is
never done
asking this
such a
question?
thing.
An
I don't know.
open
I've never
relationship?
been in a relationship to even speak on that topic.
Oh,
And mana malama rupi mako ikikinga no kama fangi nga open relationship after the people.
Oh, all right, guys, I'll go.
A open relationship, does the banana tree boy count?
I'll
I got bananas.
I don't know that I fully experienced the full extent of being in a relationship in Samoa. I think the only experience I could speak from was when my ex and I both visited Samoa, and he was there for like less than a month, but
You
we
know
were in
what,
a
Debbie? I
time.
think I think that's exactly what they're aiming to know.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the whole thing of this question.
That these questions and this shade.
These games.
it's different because like I went home and it's not like I was fortunate that my parents had already, my whole family actually had already met my ex, who was my boyfriend at the time. His name was Steven. And many of my trans friends have, Latina sisters have met him as well. Um, but we went home. Um, we experienced everything while he was there. Like we went to church, we went hiking, um, we went riding around the islands. He went and helped my brothers do the umu on Sunday morning. He went and helped them on Saturday prepare the umu. So he got to experience that, you know, the life, the Samoan life. He really enjoyed it. He loved it, in fact. Um, I think deep down inside, my parents still had their own reservations. Like, and like I know that they were trying so hard to do everything that they could to show that they loved me and to accept that this is someone that I have accepted as my partner. But I know that deep down inside they were still worried about people saying things about them, uh, about me.
For
Um,
sure.
and that just shows how, no matter what we think of our parents, like a lot of our parents, they will always show their protection in that way. They're that that's why they're so scared for us, right? Because they're worried about how other people will treat us.
Mm.
And sure enough, like there were comments that were made that got back to me about like um, I brought home a boy, right? I went off to school and I came home with a boy as if I didn't bring anything else. Um, you realize that like similar to Mia's question about like being in a relationship, being in a marriage and someone like you'll always have naysayers. You'll always have people um, that do not agree with what you're doing. And that's just something that we have to live with and we have to accept. The most important thing that we have to equip ourselves with is to learn how to cope with that because that's inevitable. The naysayers are always going to be around, but it's how we react to them that really matters, right? Um, I'm glad that that was a wonderful experience for me and my family. Like to this day, like sometimes my parents will remind us about like those times and how wonderful that experience was. But even my aunts, my uncles, like um, they really showed their support um, and didn't make him feel uncomfortable or anything.
I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It
But at the
is.
same time, it's not like we walked around displaying public affection, right? Like we weren't walking around kissing in public in someone, stuff like that. Like
You should have.
You should have.
That's why.
Girl.
Girl, you should have. You should have milked every second of that chance, girl.
Girl, and I'm pretty sure when you came down with your boyfriend, everybody wanted to be like, I can't wait to go to school. Or get a boyfriend.
Yeah.
lumubingan may masamo puso na ko gay girls.
I agree.
Uh, Ruby wrote, Mia Ara Estelle Tepa. Give 2 tips, tricks, advice on cosmetic surgery. How does it affect your relationship with family, church, and village?
Oh my gosh, girl, what do we know about this?
Girl.
This is
Ruby, I don't,
blasphemy.
Ruby, I don't think family, church, or village can speak on my cosmetic surgery because it's my body and I'm gonna do what I want with it. But yeah, tips, research, and don't go to one doctor to do everything because then you're gonna look like everyone else. I always say, do your nose, who is the best at doing nose. Do your forehead to the best who does forehead. Do your jaw, the person who does the best. Like, don't buy it all in one spot.
And try not to look like another person.
Yeah, be yourself. Like, work with your features and like try and look like your family. Thank God I somewhat look like Lay too. So like I'm still related.
Yeah, you basically answered it.
Yeah, I don't know how a family, church, or village would be affected by my surgeries. Honey, they're looking. That's enough.
Ruby, what kind of question is that?
I know. What is your
Ruby,
family
when
like?
we have breasts, they love us more.
Look, it's because they want to see. What's the question? Mia
Her
Ara on
question was,
Insta.
give
Give two
two.
tips, tricks, advice on cosmetic surgery. How does it affect your relationship with family, church, and village?
Well, personally, I'm not really concerned about those relationships. The only relationship I'm concerned about is me and God. But period.
That part.
Like period. I ain't worried about no church, family, and village. They can eat it for all I care. I'm just really concerned about God. That's like at
Yeah.
the end of the day, my soul is all that I need to, be worried about. Everything else can just, okay, you don't like the way I look, that's fine, sis, but keep it pumping.
Yeah.
Advice and tips. If it's not for you, don't do it. That's the best advice I can give you. And I guess if you want to do it, then do it. But don't be one of those girls that's like, telling the world that you're going to get this done and you haven't done it in 2 years. It's always best to work in silence and let the work speak for itself. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, that's the advice, and that's how the relationships are affected. Thank you so much. No,
Okay.
Ruby, these
And they
questions,
come back.
girl.
All right.
I know.
I guess I
I
can
can't say
go.
what.
What tips and advice I would give? Similar to me, I would say do your research. Don't just jump to things just because you see it's trending and just because you've seen that 10 other faafafine and trans girls have done to the same doctor, whatever. But also like get to know your face and like get to know what you want, right? Get to know what you truly want to work with. Um, and I think the last advice I would give you is don't forget where you came from. Uh,
Mm,
it's important for you to remember your journey and not to when you get to that point, not to knock others who are starting out,
mm,
but because you forget that because you endured that journey and you've done it so well that there are other people that are looking to you as a role model and for advice and you can help someone else. You can save someone else's life.
Mhm.
Well, there goes Debbie with the overachieving answer.
Okay.
As
Debbie
far as
answered
my
all of that.
relationship with family, church, and village, village don't really care what they think. Love them, but when it comes to my body is my body. You're not paying for anything, and nor are you
These
in
are
my body.
mine.
And then church, the only thing that matters to me there is my relationship with God. But I hate to break it to you folks, but churches are consisted of folks just like you and I,
Okay.
including the naysayers that will always try to stop you from accomplishing your goals.
Okay. I think basically you guys answered all the answers for that one.
Well, at the same time, I want to point out, Debbie is right. When you do things, don't forget where you come from. And in all seriousness, I think that's one of the most that's the best advice I could give a girl out there. If you ever get things done, if you, you alter your body, whatever way, shape, or form you want,
Yeah.
and you turn out to be, you look decent, um, please be humble. That's the
Mhm.
best way to go about life is just
Yeah.
to remain humble and help out another soul. I was,
Yeah.
you know,
Share your
Yeah. How
story.
about
share the wealth. Okay, if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
help, we're here. Or
yeah,
I'm not
I've
for
always
sure.
said
that anyone here has done that, but you know, um, don't be that girl that hogs all the riches and stuff. Don't
the
be a
details
gatekeeper.
and like the
Mhm.
ends. Like,
Yeah,
girls share the cheat codes.
exactly.
I went with this person and that person, and you blend their work together and you get this.
Oh.
But like for me, when a lot of people like, because a lot of people always contacted me about like surgeries and like
Mm.
all that. Like, I'm like, I didn't do much, but gosh, I know. Like, but I know friends, and I have a lot of friends like through all my years of transitioning. I've I've came across so many like beautiful people, and like I always was an open person, like having conversations about like their situations and what they've done. So like I've learned a lot about like our bodies and what to look out for, and like I've kind of became like a mother when it comes to like, you know, self-awareness and like knowing your body and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, I know that's one,
And
and that's
we're
one
all
thing,
built differently.
Right.
and that's one thing. Yeah,
What
even
works
the,
for one girl may not work for the other.
did you guys get the questions from everybody that are like in high school and stuff like where did you get your surgery?
Huh?
No, no, no. I was like, the one thing is before everybody wants to go get their surgery for to finish school first, please.
Oh, yeah. So that's one thing. I've been having like a lot of high school girls inside, like, oh, where do we go and get boobs?
Get
And
the
where do we
surgery
go
and
and get
stuff.
this? Alam mo mo fa umala umalali.
Go to private
Alam
school
mo
or
fa
don't
umala
talk to
umalo may
me.
laya fa laya nasu.
I know.
We
Oh,
can be
and
friends when you have
I
your
and
diploma.
just the one advice, like the one advice for everybody that's getting surgery. I mean, that's just my advice. I just feel like you should try to heal yourself timely and take time to heal to make all your results come out. I mean, but it's up to you the way you want to heal. But you know, like not 1 2 days, that'll boom. That's like boom. That's about it. Nothing too much.
That's all?
Huh?
That's all?
That's it, loves. That's it for
Oh,
today,
oh,
guys.
oh.
Does she write anything more?
What is one thing you would change about the past? How or wait, how or did it even affect your present future? Once again, ladies, the question that Ruby has presented is what is one thing you would change about the past? Or has it even affected your present? Or will it affect your future?
I honestly wouldn't change a thing. I've had one of the craziest ride of it all, and luckily I was always on my own, so like I took all my L's alone. um but like I wouldn't change it because the person I am today, I am happy, I am like present, I am aware, like I don't know, like I don't think I would have came out the person I am today if anything was changed.
Yeah.
Hmm, love that.
Um, because my answer is similar to yours, I'm just gonna jump in right now.
Yeah.
Um, I too, I wouldn't change a thing because I've done a lot of self growth um, and self love to the point where today I can actually say that I'm truly happy and proud of who I've become. And all of that is because of everything that I have gone through in life. So I wouldn't change a thing.
Yes.
Malo Tepi, Malo Mia.
Okay, get it, girl.
What a beautiful answer.
Are we ready for Miss Universe?
Okay, yeah, very much so.
Is this like I don't know. If I could go back, I would want to spend more time with my grandma.
Sorry, what was that?
If I could go back and do anything, not change it, but just to like relive moments, it would be like my moments with my grandma.
Oh,
Oh, that's nice.
That's sweet.
What is she saying?
um,
Oh my god.
Gosh.
It's
it's
so
so
you're up.
Huh?
It's
yours.
your time, sweetie.
For me?
No, the girl in the back of
Mm.
you. Yes, you.
No,
No, love.
yeah, it's
No,
like
love, that spirit that just walked beside you.
no, no. I think being. I mean, I wouldn't change anything for the anything at all because it is. I mean, it made me who I am. So I wouldn't change one thing.
That's lovely. I think we have the same answer. Everyone has the same answer. We wouldn't
Yeah.
change anything.
Next time we do this, we'll just have like a sign that says same.
Yeah, like same. Right?
They're
All
like
right.
same.
I'm logging on to like pull the question.
Mm.
And so the next question I see on here is this is from Tim Sunia. What is your advice to those who are still battling their own demons with coming out of the closet
Oh,
due to their upbringing and the family they were born into? Or with being out of the closet but facing backlash leading to suicide? Wow.
oh,
Oh,
that's powerful.
Hmm.
That's strong stuff.
You gonna take a shot at that, R?
Can you repeat that one more time? Why was that?
What
Why
is
is
your
that me?
advice to those who are still battling their own demons with coming out of the closet due to their upbringing and the family they were born into? Or when they are out of the closet, they are facing backlash that could potentially lead to suicide.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, Mia, try.
Sure.
My honest opinion, like, or my best advice to that or to the person, you're don't give those people your fucking life. Don't fucking hurt yourself, like, because of them. You know what I mean? Like, just duck for the time being, and then when you're 18, go be a fucking adult and do what you got to do. Because that's exactly what I did. It was never peachy for me, but my parents told me when I turned 18, I could do whatever I want. And ever since I turned 18, my parents never told me what to do, and they just like, they'll shake their head, but they're like, that's a grown up, I would still pay my dues, but like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not the best, like, with like nurturing advice.
mhm.
Like, yeah, a lot of my advice comes off a little like tough love because, like, I guess if I look at it, that's as if I'm answering myself at that age. But it's like, girl, just focus on your end goal where you want to be and just like tunnel vision that.
I can when you're done, me.
That's
Um,
good, Mia.
I just to add on to this. I just a short answer. I kind of know a person like this.
Mm.
But just not just minus the suicidal part. But
Mm.
I'll just say my part on the person and I'm not gonna say the person's name, but
No, you
um
shouldn't. Don't do that.
yeah. So I think the best thing that I think I speak of experience. Like the best thing to be for that person is just to be a friend and somebody to talk to instead of them being by themselves because a lot of the time they have all that like like it's all stuck in them that they need somebody to open up to because they didn't have the best childhood. They're like their family, like their churches, it's what affects him to be himself. So the only way that he was able to come out very slowly is we had to open it up. So you had to try to talk to them and be that friend, just to be there all the time. Because sometimes it's like they'll be like, oh fuck it, like I have nobody to talk to about this stuff, and it bundles up, and when it bundles up, and then it can add up to suicide. In my case, for the person I know, it was church, it was his parents. It was really really hard, like for him to come out. But we keep talking to him, like you just gotta give him the most positive advice that you can be, because once you leave that person by himself, he's gonna have all those thoughts, and those thoughts comes in suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
Like if my parents are not gonna say no, and I love this person, like I might as well just take my life because of that. But you need that one person so that person can speak to you, just to you can open up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of similar, but just not the suicidal part. But I just feel like you can always communicate with that person. I think that's one big thing is just to have somebody there to open up to
Yeah.
just and Kevin.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Like, when people are by themselves and with their thoughts, that can be a dangerous place to be in.
Yes, I can say that for sure.
And
I think like, fear of coming out is real.
yeah.
And like for so many reasons, right?
Hmm.
Um but for me, like if it gets to a point where it's life threatening, always choose life.
Mm.
Um None of them is worth your life. And I think like
I think a
it,
lot of the girls who are living their lives now, like, we're living testaments. Just wait it out. Your time will come, and then you can.
mhm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm glad you said that because like it's proven like gender care and transitioning has saved many lives. Has pulled people from a state of depression. Um, we can't always live our lives trying to please everyone else
Yeah.
because that's impossible. We will never be able to please everyone, no matter how hard you try. And so at the end of the day, like you'll just end up feeling unhappy that you haven't accomplished what you wanted to do for yourself. And guess what? They will still be unhappy. So, it's important for you to like, it's not wrong for you to focus on yourself and be selfish.
Love yourself.
I think a lot of the pressure from especially being Samoan, being gay. Period is that's a lot of pressure. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then when you're part of a family or let's take for example you're part of a family that participates in in the ministry. That's a big thing in Samoa.
Mhm.
And if one child comes out to be gay or trans, it's a big thing. And I speak that because I guess you could say I'm a testament to that. And I also have trans siblings within my family that have gone through that struggle as well. But you see, I think it was a Korean proverb that says that arms are always bent, meaning at the end of the day, no matter how different you are in terms of family, there will always be a time when they'll be back together. We'll find that they'll find that common ground where we can agree on to disagree. And if in case that time doesn't come, well then that's fine, but it should never ever draw you to a place where you feel dark and you want to take your life. Like Tepa was saying, always choose life. There's always a way to solve things. Um, and to bring in Mia and Crystal's point, mentorship is such a big deal now. I think it's another way that we can have these conversations happen, and we can save a life. I mean, if you have someone out there that you trust to confide in, or to even just call up and say, "Hey, can I rant today?" or "Can I just give you, my thoughts on this?" Do it. because, like Crystal said, being alone with your thoughts sometimes at night, because sometimes, I'm a stubborn person, and sometimes I think like I can take on the world, but really you can't, especially in situations like this. It's very important that you find people to link up with, talk about it, and you'll feel so much better, and you'll slowly find yourself growing out of that dark place. And I hope this really helps someone out there that's listening, and especially the person that even
That asked the
proposed the
question.
question, posed the question.
Yeah,
Uh,
can I just say that, like, if anyone watching that, you guys ever need a friend, I'm your girl because I talk a lot.
Or any of us, like,
like,
rock, eyes
like
and
just
ears.
reach out to any of us. Like, I know it can be intimidating sometimes, and like as long as the intent of it is like to seek help and do better, not this. I need all these tips and advice, and no, I can't do that. I can do that in person, but like no, I can't chat and do all that. But like to have real conversations and talking to another soul and speaking life into you, that yeah, I can do
Yes.
oh, that's beautiful, Mia.
Get it out
that. Corona.
Moderator, wala na siya sila. Baka make up.
Oh, she ain't a moderator.
Oh, no,
Ruby
She's
said,
she's
"How
gone for
can
5 minutes.
she said how can we combat these misconceptions and communicate more effectively?"
Who said that?
Ruby,
how can we combat these misconceptions and
What
communicate better?
misconception?
DK, am I?
Really, can you specify what
That
misconceptions there are
deep
then?
question.
Can you tell Love that we're not mind readers?
And to everyone who's watching, we can't see your comments. We can only see what Ruby is like telling us.
I know. She's like telling us different stuff.
Um, I can pull up open Facebook and pull up like
Hmm. Oh, I think pretty much what we were saying at the end earlier. Is how can we combat these misconceptions and communicate more effectively? We are all open to communicating with people who like want to understand themselves and the community,
Yeah.
as long as it's within that realm of conversation. Because, like, yeah,
still, we have a very specific question.
Hmm.
oh, pretty much what we were saying at the end earlier. How can we combat? Yeah.
Mm. Still, we have a very specific question.
What's the question?
I don't know. So somebody was asking, Elena asked, what are the advantages and disadvantages of getting a castration?
Well, I don't know, Elena. You're going to have to ask somebody that's been castrated.
I
Job
would
knows.
say that that's a question for the doctor. Um, that you shouldn't just take everybody's advice
Yeah.
on that question. Like if you really want to know, I think consultation is the best way to approach that. Other than what we've all like the basic, right? You cut out the source, you are done with testosterone, right? And that is a goal in question. I'm not a physician, but
Elena, I just love these questions, you little shade thrower. What's going on?
Who is
Stefina
that?
Rendon wants to know with the success and exposure Utopia has been getting, How do you feel about the PI girls slowly getting more of the spotlight in our larger LGBT community? And how do you feel about the younger or upcoming Polynesian girls?
I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it takes people like it changes the norm and it becomes more professional and organized and it's heading in a way where it'll one day be an empire, you know, and it creates opportunity for each and every one of us. I love it. And the fact that there's more like visibility, it's like if she can do it, I can do it. And you know, it causes that conversation amongst the community and
Mhm.
it makes it more beautiful.
I think there should be even more people, more visibility, right, with our PI girls showing up. And I think Utopia planted a seed, um, that I think would help a lot of us to feel more empowered to be visible.
Hmm.
We have other folks that look like us that are in the front
We
line,
do.
um, but also like you know, where did the question go? Topics like gender, right? Who better to lead conversation around gender than Indigenous people? Where gender identities beyond um, Western societies binary has always we've always existed, right? So binary identities have always existed in our cultures. Only now the Western society has started to recognize gender diverse identities. So it's important for us to like continue like being the storytellers and being the ones to lead that conversation. Right, 5 minutes. Yeah.
Can
Huh?
you? What was that question, Debbie? Sorry, what eras? Preciso.
Um, I'm trying to find it. Basically, it was like with Utopia getting being having a spotlight lately. Um,
Uh,
like, how do we feel about PI girls? Like this visibility.
disability. I, for one, am so grateful for organizations such as Utopia, who have just given light to the queer and trans Pacific Islander community, not only in Washington, but all over the West Coast and in the US, also in Hawaii as well. I feel like, we haven't reached that point where we have highlighted the entire community because there's still some people out there that need to come out of hiding and hibernation and quarantine and be seen and be visible because it's important. I mean, we're such a beautiful community in and out. Our customs, our traditions, our everything about us is beautiful, and the world needs to know that we exist. And before their gender conversations, like Tippa was saying, even started, Samoa has been teaching, specifically, I speak for Samoa because I'm Samoan. Samoa has been teaching the world about gender diversity since the Stone Ages. D. So the
Back.
world can learn a thing or two from the motherland. But I'm gonna go look for my white eyeliner. I'll be right back.
Of course not.
I think I don't know. Ruby, you can take over. Where do you want to take it from here? Do you want to like maybe do like some last thoughts? Oh, she's piggybacking.
Really? How?
I just made it. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead and give it a final thought. Hey,
Mhm.
Oh,
Debbie, she said go ahead and give it a final thought. Go ahead.
yeah. You girls want to share any final thoughts?
Um,
I feel like our community has done so much work. We're still at the beginning, and like I feel like the rest would just be so beautiful if we just stay the course and tunnel vision everything. Um, Embrace each other, love one another. Um, like I don't know, I'm horrible when it comes to closings. Yeah, and if you need a friend, hit me up.
Mm. What are my final thoughts? I guess I would just like to encourage more faafafine, more Pacific Islander trans women to be more vocal and more visible with their stories because stories empower people and stories uplift people and stories could also save lives. Um, I don't know. I guess thank you for tuning in and listening to our boring lives. um,
Well, I'm sorry. Speak for yourself, love. I wasn't boring.
who is laughing?
Me, is it too deep?
No, it just sounds like it's coming from in here.
I think it's the base.
this is really nice. There's Olga.
I think it was so.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank you, girls, for sharing your stories and your heartfelt experiences in life. I'm so blessed that my ears could hear that and my heart could feel that. For everyone watching, thank you so much. I mean, you taking time out of your night to be with us. Um, and we'll see you next time. Ruby, I'm running out of makeup. Can we not do like faces? Can we do like skin, skin tutorials or whatnot?
Can you not make us put on our
Can we not have this makeup and all this dirt on ourselves? So before we're gonna go to sleep, we can do like slumber parties online and
Yes.
do face masks or whatnot. So yeah,
Thank you, Ruby, for putting this together.
thank
I
you,
didn't
Ruby, for
Yes,
initiating
thanks,
this. Love you.
Ruby.
yeah, I mean I didn't realize how many people were like actually interested in, like wanting to ask questions, I guess. Maybe they don't have some people don't have that access right nearby them, like somebody like them or like us that they could ask questions to and get some moral support from. And yeah, I guess something like this
Help
could really
someone.
help someone in whatever they're going through right now. I hope you're all staying safe, that you're maintaining social distance. Um,
And you,
yeah,
babes.
and I hope you all got some stimulus checks.
Oh, als stimulatiesjes voor je.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, it was a pleasure, ladies. I gotta go.
yeah, love you guys.
Hey, girl,
Love
And
you.
one more thing, if you are in the state of Washington and you are queer and trans Pacific Islander, please don't forget that Utopia has a relief fund available right now that you can apply to. Go on our Facebook page and apply for financial assistance. That is money that's given to the queer and trans Pacific communities that are impacted during COVID-19. Also, please visit my page, my Facebook page. I've also posted some more resources if you are impacted, um, need some financial assistance, need help filing for unemployment, any of those, let me know.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Utopia, and thank you for everyone that's been assisting the Cutie Pie community with relief funds. And shout out to Utopia Las Vegas, who is just starting out with their relief drive. Um,
Yes.
Good night, and we shall see you when we see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Lihat kayo man ulo.
Ano pa na man loob?
Okay lang.
Oh. Gone is it. Bye. Love you.